The cave that whispers back. The air here is thick, heavy with something more than time. Dust swirls in the dim light, filtering through the narrow entrance of a cave on Mount Carmel, Israel. It's quiet, too quiet. But if you listen closely, the silence isn't empty. Because this cave doesn't just hold history, it holds something more, something alive. They call it the Cave of Elijah. Elijah, the prophet who defied kings, who stood alone against an empire, who called fire from heaven and vanished in a whirlwind. A man so mysterious, even death couldn't hold him. But this cave, it may hold something even greater than his legend. For the first time in history, new discoveries are pulling back the veil on this ancient place. And what researchers have found inside, it will challenge everything you thought you knew about faith, history, and the unseen world that still lingers in the cracks of time. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to see why Elijah's story isn't just ancient history. It's a message meant for you. Fire on the mountain, 870 BC. Israel is crumbling under the weight of corruption. King Ahab and Queen Jezebel have led the nation into idolatry, bowing to Baal, silencing the prophets, spilling innocent blood. And then one man steps forward. One man against an empire, Elijah. He marches to Mount Carmel and challenges 450 prophets of Baal. 2 altars, 2 sacrifices, no fire. The true God will reveal himself. The prophets of Baal scream, chant, cut themselves, but their God is silent. Then Elijah steps forward. He douses his altar in water. He lifts his hands to heaven and prays, and then fire falls. Not a flicker. Not a spark, but a raging, consuming inferno that devours the offering, the wood, even the stone beneath it. The people fall to their knees, crying, "The Lord, He is God." 1 Kings 18:39. But victory doesn't mean safety. Jezebel wants Elijah dead. He flees, exhausted, collapsing under a tree, praying to die. But instead of death, God sends an angel with food. 40 days later, Elijah arrives at Mount Horeb. There in a cave, he waits for God. And when God speaks, it's not in the fire, not in the earthquake, not in the wind, but in a whisper. 1 Kings 19:12. And this is where the mystery begins, because nowhere does the Bible say where that cave is. For centuries, people have claimed this very cave on Mount Carmel as the place where God whispered. Jews, Christians, Muslims, mystics, pilgrims have prayed here, carved crosses into the walls, listened for something beyond this world. But now, science is peeling back the layers of legend. And what they've found? It's enough to send chills down your spine, a discovery that changes everything. A team of researchers steps into the cave, armed with LiDAR scanners and ground-penetrating radar. Their mission? To see what centuries of candle soot and prayer mats have hidden. What they uncover: unbelievable carvings, ancient symbols etched into the rock, a menorah from the Second Temple era, Greek inscriptions invoking the God of Elijah, and then something even stranger, a network of tunnels stretching far beneath the mountain. To where? No one knows. But local legends whisper of a hidden chamber deep within the rock, sealed for thousands of years. Some believe it holds relics of Elijah's miracles. A jar of never-ending oil, fragments of the fire-consumed altar, even the prophet's own staff. And here's where things get even more unsettling. In 2018, a collapse in the cave revealed something shocking: a sealed alcove. Inside, a 1st century BCE oil lamp still caked with residue. Lab tests confirmed it: olive oil mixed with myrrh, the exact recipe for anointing priests in Exodus 30:25. Was this cave more than a shrine? Was it a secret sanctuary, a place where the faithful preserved sacred rituals in the face of Roman persecution? Or was it something even greater, a place that breathes? Stand in this cave today, and you will feel it. The weight of prayers soaked into the stone, the hush of something ancient, something watching. Carbon dating of the cave's soot traces back to the 9th century BCE, Elijah's era. Pottery shards match the time of King Ahab. And yet, no undeniable proof exists that Elijah himself ever stood here. So why does it matter? Because this cave isn't just a relic of the past. It's a mirror. For some, it's where Elijah will return to herald the Messiah. Malachi 4:5. For others, it's a symbol of God's voice in the silence. For historians, it's a puzzle that refuses to be solved. But for you, for those who have ever felt alone in the wilderness, desperate for a whisper in the dark, this cave is proof that God speaks. And sometimes, the greatest revelations aren't in the fire, they're in the stillness. The fire still burns, Elijah's cave endures, a silent witness to the human hunger for the divine, to the fire we chase and the whispers we strain to hear. And maybe, just maybe, the next time you find yourself in a cave of your own, lost, broken, questioning, you'll remember the fire of God doesn't just consume, it refines. The whisper doesn't just call, it changes everything. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think? Could this cave be the very place where Elijah encountered God? Or is there something even more mysterious at play? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And before you go, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into the mysteries of faith and history. Because here on Sugar Bytes News, the buried rise, and the past, it isn't dead, it's waiting.